Hey y'all, Devin the Albino Jackass here, and today we will be taking a look at Fallout Season 1, continuing with the theme of Fallout Week here on the channel. So, let me go ahead and give you a quick rundown of the plot. I'm not going to give you everything that happens. If you want to see a full breakdown, I'll be more than happy to do that. But today I just want to talk a little bit about the show and give you my thoughts on it. So, a quick rundown of the plot. We follow three main characters. Lucy, played by Ella Purnell. Maximus, played by Aaron Modell. And the Ghoul, played by Walton Goggins. Now, the show starts in Vault 33, the home of Lucy, which gets raided by raiders who kidnap her father. Now, so she decides to go out to the wasteland to bring him. On her way there, she stops off at a town named Philly, meets an Enclave scientist who is carrying a piece of cold fusion technology that Moldaver invented before the bombs dropped. I'm not sure how she survived this long, but Maximus and the Ghoul manage to catch up with him at the town of Philly, which is a combination of Megaton and Diamond City from Fallouts 3 and 4 respectively. And that's where Lucy and Maximus decide to team up and retrieve the technology. They track Moldaver to the Griffith Observatory, where Lucy's father is being held because Moldaver needs Hank to give her the code to activate this cold fusion technology to power the wasteland. Now, you later find out that Hank is responsible for the destruction of a town called Shady Sands, which was the capital of the New California Republic, which was the closest thing in the wasteland to a functioning nation-state. The last time we saw them was Fallout New Vegas, which takes place about 15 years before the show. And it is revealed that Maximus is actually from Shady Sands, and that was what destroyed his home. This breaks Lucy's heart. Hank decides that he wants to escape, so he takes off after knocking Maximus out. And Lucy and the Ghoul begin a pursuit of her father, and Maximus is given credit for killing Moldaver. He's given the rank of knight, and that's where the first season ends. Now, that is a very brief rundown of the plot. Now here come more details. And let me get into my biggest gripes with the show. Starting off, number one. How can you do the NCR like that? A fan-favorite faction that, number one, you retconned the location of Shady Sands. It wasn't in L.A., but you blow it up. And I'm not going to lie, when I first saw it, I immediately had Last Jedi flashbacks. Now, it is handled a lot more respectfully, but I'm not sure why they thought that was a good idea. And we learn in the show from Lucy and Maximus visit a Vault 4, that is made up of both descendants of the original Vault 4 Vault Dwellers and survivors from Shady Sands. And from these survivors, we learn that Moldaver is worshipped as a cult, like there's a cult that worships her as the Flame Mother. And in Vault 4, there's a chalkboard that kind of outlines the history of Shady Sands. And a lot of people freaked out about this because the fall of Shady Sands is listed as 2277, which isn't correct because New Vegas takes place in 2281. But then there's an arrow that shows the bombs falling, and Todd Howard has clarified that the bombs fell just after the events of New Vegas that blew up Shady Sands. Now, here's why that's a problem. In the 15 years since their capital was hit, the NCR hasn't tried to return. You blew up their capital, and there is a billboard that says First Capital of the New California Republic, implying that they may have moved it at some point. But we're just supposed to believe that the NCR, the largest functioning nation-state in the post-apocalyptic world that we've seen up to this point, just kind of let it fall into disarray and anarchy and lawlessness. That doesn't seem right. I don't like that. I don't like how the NCR was handled at all. The Brotherhood seems to be a little different. Now, the West Coast Brotherhood has always been a little more hardcore than the East Coast, but something's off about it. And I have a theory on that, and I'll go ahead and say it. All of the Brotherhood members we meet in the show have Latin names. Maximus, Titus, Titus, Maximus. Anyway, they all have Latin names. And red is a big color scheme for this Brotherhood for some reason. So I think they may have incorporated some former legionaries into the Brotherhood, but that's a theory that I have. They're portrayed as pretty much what you would expect. Don't really have any problems with that. As far as any sort of heavy-handed political messaging, the show doesn't really have that. But my biggest complaint with the show is the Vault-Tec plan. We've learned from Cooper Howard, the Ghoul's flashbacks from his time before the bombs. His wife worked for Vault-Tec. And there was a man at Vault-Tec who decided to create a program called Buds, and he was going to cryogenically freeze a bunch of junior Vault-Tec executives and use that to create a class of super managers to win the game of capitalism. And in order to set all this in motion, he suggests that Vault-Tec drops the bombs. That has to be the stupidest part of the fucking show. It makes no... What is his big plan? Your big plan to win capitalism is to kill off your customer base, thus eroding your own power. It makes no sense to me. It makes no sense. But that's my negatives for the show. And a Brotherhood of Steel theory. But my positives for the show, the acting is amazing. All of the Ella Purnell, Aaron Modell, Walton Goggins, even the side characters do an amazing job. The characters are likable. They're written well. Lucy is not some girl boss, good at everything right out of the gate. You see her get her ass kicked kind of brutally a couple of times, and instead of just being totally overpowered, she grows and learns from that, and you want to root for her. You want to see Lucy kick some ass, and she finally does by the end of the series, by the end of the season. Maximus, his character, is probably the least interesting, but that's not meant as a gripe, just because he's a Brotherhood squire, conflicted, and we've kind of seen that before. But I really enjoyed it. I thought the actor did a fabulous job, and again, you want to root for Maximus. You want to see him get to that next level, and finally get the confidence and everything that he needs to be what you would think of when you think of a Brotherhood knight. That's what Maximus is striving to get for, and he makes knight by the end of it, but it might not be in the way he wants. And the Ghoul is trying to find answers as to what happened to his family, and seems to be on an arc to get some of his humanity back. And I gotta say, guys, so all of the acting is great. The writing is B+. It's not super awesome, but it doesn't fundamentally shatter the world of Fallout, which I'm happy to see, unlike some other shows. The Acolyte! Now, and another positive is the attention to detail. This show looks like it was ripped right from Fallout 4, from the power armor to the weapons, and they even get some weapons from Fallout 1 and 2 in there, and that's really cool to see. Every game is referenced. We got Sunset Sarsaparilla signs, we've got Vault-Tec signs from Fallout 76, which I haven't played yet. But it is a really fun, really engaging show, although it does have some flaws. It's far from perfect. I cannot recommend it enough. I would give it probably 4 stars out of 5. It is really, really worth the watch, really worth your time, and I'm really looking forward to season 2. There's some killer moments. You get to see Mr. House and a couple of the I forget his name, but he's the head of the Big MT. He shows up at the end in the Vault-Tec meeting. It's really cool. But those are my thoughts on it, guys. Be sure to let me know what you thought of the Fallout show in the comments down below. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I've been the Albino Jackass. Thanks for listening to me, all guys. Have a great day.